Eric here, Nomadic Fanatic, along with my little helper here, Jax. You're gonna have to move over there somewhere out of the way though, so I can show all this. I figured since I'm kind of in pause mode right now on the road, it's time to do an updated video of all of my gear to kind of share with you all of the recording devices I have for audio, all of the gear that I use to be able to create my channel, and then also talk about the mounts, how I record on the road, how I carry everything with me all the time, and then maybe even talk about how I edit and stuff like that. Oh, I forgot to bring the drone down too, that counts too. So yeah, it's gonna be a little hard to do this because some of the gear that I'm talking about has to be used. Obviously, I'm using a camera and a tripod right now, and I'm not gonna be able to record audio because I wanna show the audio, so it'll be tricky to show, but let's just start off with Jax laying on top of everything. Awesome. Okay, well, we'll start with the camera. I am recording right now with my GoPro Hero 4 Black, which is my main camera. And actually, I'll just walk over to the mirror here to show you that camera real quick. We'll just look in the mirror here real quick. You can see GoPro Hero 4. It's in the frame, mounted on a tripod right now. This is one of actually 4 tripods that I own. So when somebody asks me, Eric, what camera did you use in that video? Oftentimes I tell them, you're gonna have to be a little more specific because many of my videos include 4 cameras, 4 different cameras mixed in and edited together, some of them 5. So let's talk about that. My other camera is a GoPro Hero 3 Silver Edition, and this is the one that mounts. Normally what this is used for is mounting up on the dash facing me, and I'll show you how I do some of the split screen stuff. And also sometimes this also goes into my DJI Phantom quadcopter. For everything that you see outside my window while I'm driving, it's recorded on the SJ4000, which is kind of like a GoPro clone type thing. That's how I get all of that. My Canon Vixia, this is the oldest camera I own. This was my go-to camera. This is what I started vlogging with on the road, my only camera that I had. This gives me a lot more ability to kind of zoom in, to adjust rack focus, to adjust white balance, and everything I need to do. This is kind of a go-to camera and stuff. You know, there's stuff that I can capture with this that you just can't with a GoPro. And then last but not least, if I'm out somewhere and I have no gear with me for some reason, I will use my iPhone, and it takes great video. There have been some times when I just had to film something real quick and then splice that in later, so there you go. Let's talk about some other gear here real quick. Can you scoot up for just a tiny minute here? I want to show some stuff. Back up just a little bit right there. Perfect. All right, I showed the tripod that I'm using right there. This is my selfie stick. This is a quick pod selfie extreme. This is how I get those really extreme shots. So it's telescoping. I can hold it way out. I also mount the GoPro here and then tip it upside down. That's how I get a lot of the shots when I'm walking and the camera's in front of Jax and we're kind of walking. So that's the main thing I use it for, is the Jax cam, as I like to call it. And I've got this little tripod here, which is great for time lapses. I mentioned I've got 2 other tripods like the one the GoPro is on right now. This is the old style handle, which would just screw into one of the GoPros or the SJ4000, and you can go like this and kind of talk, but it's not stabilized. I want to show my gimbal here, so I'll just pop in the Hero 3 real quick so you can see. This is the Feiyu Tech 3G stabilizer gimbal. It's a brushless 3-motor gimbal, so you just put the GoPro right in there like that. You turn it on and let it calibrate. Now it is going to stay level to the horizon no matter what I do. See how the camera just stays like that? If I turn it real quick, it doesn't flip the camera real quick. It slowly turns it around. That's how I can get that effect with being able to not make people sick on YouTube watching my videos, because this gimbal keeps the camera straight to the horizon. Batteries, I've talked about batteries being an issue on the road. I've got a backpack full of batteries, but all of my batteries can be charged either USB or DC, which is great. So these are my GoPro Hero 4 batteries. It's a 3-bay charger that takes USB. Easy to charge. I'll show you how I can do it even while I'm walking down the road. Also, my gimbal batteries takes 3 batteries inside the actual gimbal right here. I have 3 replacements and a charger that is charged by USB. And then this is for my Canon Vixia batteries. I have 4 batteries that go into the Canon Vixia, charge them one at a time. Right there you can see DC, or flip it open and plug it into a wall charger as well. Why is that helpful? Because I have this portable battery bank, USB portable battery bank, with 2 USBs and a micro USB so that I can charge anything you see on this table, except for my MacBook. I can charge with this little device here, and you can get 45 hours of runtime on an iPhone. 45 hours of runtime on an iPhone while it's on and you're using it, which is pretty cool and unique. I've got 2 hard drives. I back up all of my videos. I also like to save some of my videos, so I've got a 1 terabyte and I've got a 2 terabyte. They're both WD Passports audio. I didn't talk about audio. So this is something new within the last couple months, is recording my audio separately. And the reason why I do that is because when you're using the gimbal, these motors make a lot of noise and give you a lot of feedback really close to the microphone here. So it's just something that I can't deal with, and it's okay for me to use. I use my Sony. This is the ICD-PX333 Sony voice recorder. This is a cheapo microphone here, Lapel. I have a foam windscreen on it, and then I also have this high wind fuzzy windscreen on it as well. Really helps my audio when there's no easy way to talk about how I actually, you know, sync the video and the audio together. If you're not into that kind of thing, then you're not going to understand anyway. But basically, I have to sync the beginning of this with the beginning of this in post-production, and a lot of times what that means is before I start, you know, talking, after I hit record, I just give it a couple claps so that when I'm in editing, I can find the claps on this. I can find the claps on this. Yeah, that's that. Also, although I haven't used it much, I'm still kind of in training mode. Here is my DJI Phantom. It's got the propellers that go up here. This is how I get all my drone footage. And it does have the Zenmuse H3 3D gimbal down here, which does pretty much the same thing as this gimbal does here, but it keeps the camera steady to the horizon no matter what's happening with the wind in this. And it gives me really good shots. The remote control allows me to tilt this down flat, or, you know, there's a lot of... That's where I was going to put that, right there. I'm going to put it right there. I edit on a MacBook Pro 15-inch Retina. So that's how I do all of my work. I do not have a tower computer in here or anything. Everything I do is done on the MacBook Pro. And for charging it, I charge it with DC. So I don't know if anybody knows this, but all these MacBooks that you have, they can all be charged with DC magnetic MagSafe 2 stuff. And that way you're not multiplying the voltage in an RV. So if it's 85 watts, it's really 85 watts DC, rather than being inverted at almost 250 watts of inverted power. So that's why I like doing that. We'll talk about the backpack real quick here. So what brand is this? This is a LowePro backpack. These are at Best Buy, and it hauls all of my gear. I really like the pouch right here. Holds all of my gear really nicely, and it's easy to zip it back up. It's got batteries. Right there is the side compartment for the MacBook. So literally everything I have is with me all the time. Let me show you some of the mounting stuff that's going on up here, and then we'll get to editing. Okay, I'm back to using the GoPro Hero 4 Black with the gimbal stabilizer and without a microphone, so you're probably going to hear a little bit of motor noise if I were to move this around, but I want to show you what's going on up in the cab area. First of all, I forgot to talk about the lens caps for the 2 GoPros. I can't believe that GoPro doesn't include lens caps when you buy GoPros. You have to pay like $20 for a little rubber lens cap on your GoPro, or maybe even cheaper on Amazon or something like that, but you need it because the lens sticks out farther than the rest of the camera. If you were to put it flat, it would be touching everything, and that's the biggest problem people have with the GoPros, is the lens gets scratched and then it's unusable. So protect your lenses all the time, and even if you have to pay $20 for a lens cap, it's worth it to save the GoPro. So here's the setup while I'm driving. You can see I've got the Hero 3 right here, kind of face towards me. It's on wide angle, always recording in 720p 60 frames a second, as well as the SJ4000, which is aimed out the window. The mounting bracket that I have right on here, I will have to put a link below to give you that, because I don't know what it's called, but it's a dual suction cup. It does not move. It is sturdy as heck. It's very high quality. It's just still as heck, right? Pretty cool. Down below, I've got my holder for the iPhone because I use my maps and stuff like that. For charging, I have a 4-bay USB charger plugged in right here, so I can charge the iPhone, the SJ4000, and the GoPro Hero 3, all 3 of those while I'm driving. And still one more thing, I have another outlet here if I needed it, but I have all the wires going up, usually charging it all the time. The SJ4000 is recording all of the time. If there's something specific that I want to talk about in sync, I have to press start here, same thing, do a clap so that I can sync the videos together later so that it's all driving. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and look at some of the editing that's going on so I can talk about the split screen and a few other things that I use the equipment for. Okay, and actually I just finished doing a little tutorial on some of the editing stuff, and then I realized that if you're not using Adobe Premiere and you don't know what the program is, everything I just said is going to be in a completely different language. So I'm going to save it for a future date in case anyone is interested in learning how to use the software. I can show you how I do a couple things in editing, but there's no simple way to show anything in there if you're not familiar with Adobe Premiere. It's one of those applications where if you wanted to learn how to do one specific task in Adobe Premiere, you just enter in the text in YouTube and somebody has made a video out there to show you how to do it. So there's really no sense in me showing how to do it on the computer because it's just going to confuse everybody. But I at least wanted to show you my gear. If you have any other questions, I will try to put all of the titles on all of this stuff and put some information links below in case you're interested in finding where they're at. All right, have a good day, guys. Hey guys, I'm Eric. This is Jax. Thanks for watching our RV channel. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up below. If you want to communicate with us, I'm not a big fan of YouTube comments, so hit me up over on Facebook, or I'll give you my direct email in the video description below so you can contact us. We've got lots of other videos you can check out. Also, subscribe to our channel so you can get the latest updates on the road, and we'll see you again soon.